Hey everybody, Gumby here, along with Goku the doggy, and today's list is going to be celebrities that have gotten the black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Now, a lot of celebrities have dabbled in Jiu Jitsu and brought a lot of credibility and attention to Jiu Jitsu, but today we're going to be focusing especially on those guys that have gone so deep down, have really embraced the lifestyle, and have actually gotten the black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So right now, check out our list.
Guy Ritchie, big-time director. British gangster films such as Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, to the Sherlock Holmes franchise, to the live-action version of Aladdin. He was also married for a time for Madonna, and they have a son Rocco together. Guy actually started training in martial arts at the age of 7 at the famous Budokai in London, holding black belts in karate and judo before starting in jiu-jitsu, training at various places from where he lived, such as Hickson's while he was in LA and Hodger's while he was in London, but he's actually received his black belt from Renzo Gracie in 2015. Guy Ritchie's movies are known for his great action sequences. Frequent collaborator Jason Statham started training at the same time as Guy, but he currently holds a purple belt rank in Jiu-Jitsu. Guy was allegedly a brown belt for 7 years. Harley Flanagan. Harley Flanagan can safely be described as a hardcore legend. Best known as the bassist and founding member of the Cro-Mags, no less an authority than Henry Rollins once said that Harley has seen more than 5 of your eventful life friends put together. We're talking about a guy who, before the age of 10, was hanging out with the likes of Andy Warhol, Joe Strummer from The Clash, and Allen Ginsberg. Now, renowned as a brawler, Harley met Renzo in 1996 and became one of the first students at the academy in the early days. Harley took the long path through his promotions due to his traveling and tour schedule, but not only eventually earned his black belt from Renzo, but eventually became one of the instructors at the world-renowned Manhattan location, and especially working with the kids program. When on the mats, Harley is happy as just being one of the guys, and as you might guess from his reputation, he will give you a role worthy of being the hardcore legend. But you can't also find a nicer, more approachable guy off of the mat, and he wears his life experience as a lesson for everyone. Rikki Rockett. If there's a polar opposite to the hardcore scene, it might be glam rock, and selling over 45 million records, the band Poison is among the giants of the genre. Rikki Rockett was the drummer of the band and has also played in bands such as Devil City Angels, and he's an artist as well. Now, Rikki Rockett got interested in Jiu-Jitsu after watching UFC 3, and shortly thereafter began training with the Machado brothers. He has been very consistent in his training and is currently a 3rd degree black belt under Renato Magno of Street Sports Jiu-Jitsu. Rikki Rockett has actually put his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt to the test, competing in the IBJJF Masters division. He didn't win his match, but he more than held his own. While we haven't had the opportunity to roll with him yet, he's a definite fixture on the scene, and he's a great guy. Billy Biohazard. Billy Graziadei, aka Billy Biohazard, was a founding member of the band Biohazard, which topped the charts in the 90s. Billy has stayed in the time in the music scene and has formed a supergroup called Power Flow, featuring Sendog from Cypress Hill on vocals, as well as his eponymous Billy Bio band. Billy has been training since 1993 and has worked with a who's who of the old school, including Renzo Gracie, Rickson and Hoyler, Pedro Sauer, and many more. He received his black belt from the Gracie Academy in Torrance from Horian Gracie and his sons Huron and Henner in 2016. Now, Biohazard has had albums such as Mata Leon, aka the Lion Killer Choke, and No Holds Barred, which was what MMA was called back in the days before they called it mixed martial arts. A true definition of a mat rat, Billy will bring mats on tour with him to get bandmates to train with him, as well as popping into academies to roll. He once showed up on this channel's academy to roll for a comp class and went straight to the stage for a show. Sean Patrick Flanery. Sean Patrick Flanery, or SPF to his friends, has been in tons of movies and projects, including playing the young Indiana Jones, the movie Powder, and one of our all-time favorite movies, The Boondock Saints. Now, Sean has always had a background in martial arts, but when he discovered Jiu-Jitsu, he never looked back. He started training at the Rickson Gracie Academy and actually slowed his filming schedule in 2003 to be more active in his training and competition scene. In 2008, he was awarded his black belt from Sean Williams. Now, Sean Patrick Flanery has gone very deep down the Jiu-Jitsu rabbit hole, including competitions, but he also owns his own studio, Hollywood Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in Hollywood, California. Joe Rogan. If you've been a subscriber to this channel, you probably know that Joe is the longtime commentator for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and he also has his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. Joe might be more interested in being known as a stand-up comedian, however, with specials on Netflix, and in the past he's hosted shows such as Fear Factor and starred on the sitcom News Radio. Now, Joe Rogan started in Taekwondo and has some competition history including full contact as well as kickboxing matches, although these days he's pretty quick to downplay that. Joe started training in Jiu Jitsu in 1996 and eventually earned his black belt in 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu from good friend Eddie Bravo and his gi black belt from the legendary Jean-Jacques Machado. Now, Anthony Bourdain famously said he wouldn't train with Joe Rogan because he had a reputation of being rough. We can confirm that Joe is skilled, and Joe is definitely strong, and from the stories we've seen and observed, not having rolled with him personally, the funny businessman is all business on the mat. Although he's never had any aspirations for fighting in the UFC, there was a time when he was willing to take on Wesley Snipes in a bout that never materialized. Our money would have definitely been on Joe though. Joe Rogan is definitely a huge contributor to the popularity of Jiu-Jitsu worldwide, promoting it every chance he gets. Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill is an actor with some movie roles, but is best known for his television work in sitcoms such as Modern Family and as the iconic Al Bundy in perhaps the greatest sitcom of all time, Married with Children.
Hi, I'm Al Bundy. At the time, I scored 4 touchdowns in one game on this field.
Now, Ed started training relatively late in his life at the age of 42, which means he actually has over 30 years of training under his belt, and he's the one celebrity on this list to have actually discovered Jiu-Jitsu before the first Ultimate Fighting Championship. That makes him the granddaddy of all Jiu-Jitsu celebrities. He has done most of his training with privates from the Gracie family, including Elio Gracie, and received his black belt directly from Rorion Gracie. Now, for a long time, Ed O'Neill was the celebrity who did Jiu-Jitsu, so we've claimed him as our own for a long time. Ed's been athletic his whole life and was even signed as an undrafted free agent to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but never actually played a game in the NFL. He admits that he never had an interest in martial arts until he discovered Jiu-Jitsu.
So there's our list of celebrities that have gotten their black belts. Did we forget anybody? Comment below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so we can continue to bring you more great content like this. We'll see you soon on the mat.